What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Sterling. I'm here on this Sunday evening with a special guest today. I want you to introduce yourself, man. Tell the world who you are.
Yo, this is Swifty McVay, that D12 representing full effect. What up, though?
What's going on, man? I'm happy to have you here today, man. I appreciate you for even coming on my show today.
Thanks for having me, big baby. Thanks for having me.
For sure. But listen, man, what I want to ask you tonight is, I want this to be about you. You know what I'm saying? So, can you go through the things of how you got into hip-hop? What was the steps you took to get to the spot that you are currently at right now?
Okay, well, shoot, man. I've been basically rapping my whole life, man. Ever since I could say maybe 5 or 6 years old, I got the rapping bug, man. I really wanted to make a career out of it. Back when I heard Run DMC first album, when I first heard Run kick the metaphor about Calvin Klein's "No friend of mine, don't want nobody's name on my behind." When I first heard that metaphor as a youngin', that made me want to write clever lyrics right there, man. And I didn't have a plan B. I didn't have a plan C, D, or E. This is all I ever wanted to do. The only thing I ever did other than rapping, man, was probably like gymnastics or flipping or something. I had a passion for that. But that's all I ever wanted to do, man. I had managers my whole life. Ever since the age of 12, I was always blessed to have somebody take me up under their wing. If that didn't work, I had producers take me up under their wing. That's why I always pay homage and try to give back to the audience of rappers who don't really have no guidance or anybody to, support them, because I was always blessed to have support coming up, man. And if it failed, I tried again. If it failed, I tried again. And it was just the love of it that kept me going, man. Even if I didn't make money off of it, I just loved doing it. And money just came eventually, man. But I've been striving for this rap thing basically my whole life.
Man, that's beautiful. So who was some, besides Run DMC, who was some of your influence while growing up?
Besides Run DMC, man, I gotta say Rakim. I gotta say Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, LL Cool J. Basically, when Rakim came in, man, I was in the zone where I was trying to find myself as a lyricist, man. And even when I listen to songs that I've done as a teenager, I always say to myself, like, damn, I tried to sound like Rakim, because he changed the way people rap. He changed the way people did wordplay. I was able to come up with the times. Was just deeply inspired by him, and everybody else was LL Cool J, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, maybe Redman, Busta Rhymes. Those was the cats that really, really kept me inspired. Ice Cube, whenever it was time for me to write lyrics or whatever, I always listened to them to get that spark of inspiration before I actually found myself of who I was as an artist.
Yeah, and see, another thing I want, because I was just listening to some D12 music earlier today, and your verse on, what was that, Get Up? That
okay.
was that was a tight verse. Like,
Thank you.
That was definitely a tight verse on that record. Is that how?
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So how do you do like your writing process? Like how do you go with it? How do you sit in the studio and you come up with some of the things that you come up with?
With this the thing, man. Usually, well, like back in the days, I used to write rhymes without no beats. It was real easy for me to just write. But as I got signed and got more into the industry, man, writing raps became more like building a house. Mm-hmm. So what I do is I sit in the studio, we hear the music, and we get the mood. The beat will bring the mood, and whatever mood the beat will bring in, man, I just got to a zone of writing whatever that mood compels me to write, and I do it like that. Whatever cadence, I think about the cadence first of how I'm gonna come off with the cadence, and then I bring the words. So it's the mood. I get into the mood, brings the subject brings the cadence, and the cadence brings the words.
Oh, that's fast. That's incredible. So I want to get into more like, how did D12 come together? How was that? How was that progress, and how did that form into the juggernauts that y'all became?
Okay, well, when D12 got together, man, we all met at this open mic called the Hip Hop Shop, man. The Hip Hop Shop was an
Yep.
open mic that was it was actually a clothing store owned by somebody named Maurice Malone. It was a clothing store. He had open mic every Saturday, every years. And everybody would all go to this open mic on Saturdays from 3 to 6 to spit. And we just kind of got to know each other from there, man. I was in a different crew. I was there when Proof formulated D12. When he first came up with the idea to do D12, he kind of whispered in all of the elite MC's ears and said, "Yo, I'm trying to put together a all-star group called D12. If you want to be in it, you can be in it." Because at that time, Wu-Tang Clan, man, they was just like the ultimate Avengers at the time. So he was kind of Proof was pretty much trying to mimic the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, it was 12 dudes in the group. So guys kept falling off, coming back, falling off, and then it ended up being 6. So when I got disbanded with my group, one of the members of the D12 asked me if I like to be a part of the group, man, and I ended up being a part of the group. So once we did that, we would do shows and do demos and stuff, and then we made a pact that the first one who gets signed would come back and get everybody else. So while we were doing our thing in Detroit, Eminem, he went to go get a deal out there in L.A., and it was history. He came back, got his own label and signed us up under his own label.
That's what's up. So how do you feel about the run that D12 had? Do you think it ended prematurely, or do you feel like it took its course?
I'm gonna say this like this, man, and I say this humbly, man. I think our run it ended real tragic, man. But on the flip side of it, man, I think our run is almost like having a television show that a TV show with high ratings that stepped down before the ratings got bad. Right. And which caused our group and caused the music to become classic. Because usually when you have TV shows might have a good run, the ratings might be good, and then the ratings go bad before they cut the TV show off. But metaphorically speaking, when Proof got murdered, we were on top of our game when we were about to do a major third album, and when Proof got murdered, it just changed the trajectory and the dynamics of everything that was about to happen, and things kind of slowed down from there. So now that's why all the fans is like, dang, man, when I remember D12, they were at their peak. When I remember D12,
that's how I remember D12.
Yeah.
Both. So what was the numbers for both? Both albums was like double platinum, wasn't they?
Yeah, both albums went platinum 4 times. So so all
congratulations
together,
on that, man.
8 million sold.
I think y'all was on y'all way to history. If D12, if that unfortunate situation didn't happen, D12 would be one of the top groups. If not, they still is a top group. Because like you said, they ended on you ended on a high note.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that love right there too, man. We had big plans. We was in the process of working on the third album. We had a big plans to promote and whatnot. And with Proof Untimely Death, man, it just kind of took the chemistry. It took the chemistry away from where we was built. You know what I'm saying? We definitely tried to keep going and doing things like 3-man shows, but at that time, it just took the wind out of us so much to where other members wanted to do other things, man. You know what I'm saying? And as grown men, you just kind of got to respect where a person is in their life. You know what I'm saying? And we just kind of kept the brand going. And now it's me and Kaniva. We holding the brand on our back today as we speak.
Yeah, and I'm happy to hear that. I'm definitely happy to hear that. But it goes into my next question. And this question I have to ask you. Eminem 2018 Kamikaze album. He got a record called Stepping Stone, and he kind of described how he felt about the situation. What did you think about when you first heard that record? What was going through your head?
When I first heard the record, I kind of pretty much understood why he said what he said, because Eminem is the man who expresses himself through music. We've had our talks and whatnot, and we're all brothers. So it was just a thing to where, as a CEO and as a brother, he was just kind of pretty much waiting for this Voltron to come out and do what we supposed to do as a Voltron. And after waiting for so long, and you got members of this Voltron wanting to do other things, he just says, you know what? It's been long enough. I've been sitting here waiting. I still love and respect you guys, but if this Voltron don't want to come together in a timely fashion, then as a CEO, he must move on to bigger and better things. And you got to respect the person who, he put us on. He gave us the ball. We dunked it. And if that Voltron can't come together the way he needed to be, I don't blame him for wanting to venture off and do other things. He waited long enough. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard it, it wasn't no heartbreaking thing or whatever, because we kind of pretty already knew what was going on in the first place. It's just that he just took the time to express it through music finally. That's all. What I'm saying?
Well, I can definitely appreciate you guys still being mature about things, because I look at the industry and I see a lot of nasty breakups through groups. We all remember NWA and what No Vaseline did to that situation. And I'm happy that it didn't spill out to any of that, and that you guys was able to still be brothers and still keep it together as a unit, man, and just keep things going.
Yeah, I'm glad that it didn't turn out to be a thing that where we had to do diss records towards each other, man. It was just about respecting each other as men. I mean, we all have differences, man, and you heard the saying, you gotta agree that you disagree and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all grow together. We were real young when we started, and after so many years, people grow, people get different perspectives, people learn things, and people change, and you just gotta respect each other as men, and keep it moving on that level. Now, if there's ever a time to where they want to come back together and want to do something, the doors are open. There's never going to be a thing to where it's like, man, bump y'all left or whatever, man, because our chemistry is so strong. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That I truly believe that whenever we come back together, man, we go pick up where we left off and still leave our mark.
Do you believe that can really happen, like for a reunion or anything?
Or can a reunion happen? It's always open, man. I mean, it just really depends. If me and Kanal were holding the brand on our back, keeping the brand alive, who knows? That might spark inspiration in the other fellas that might make them want to come back and do something. Now if me and Kanal didn't choose to not keep the brand alive, it would only be the option of not being inspired to do anything. So when you keeping the brand alive, there's always hope that something might spark from other people. They might see something and say, you know what? I like this, man. Let me go ahead and jump on this and take this to this next level with these guys. You know what I'm saying? But if we're not doing anything, then it wouldn't be nothing to inspire anything. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So anything's possible.
Yeah, that's definitely like I said again. I'm extremely happy to hear that, because D12. First of all, Eminem and D12 was like my favorite growing up. Like just listening to you guys and the way that the lyrics was put together and everything like that was in, like, you kind of didn't hear, you never heard nothing like that. So me hearing that in the way that y'all was like risk takers. Like y'all was risk takers. Like, and for y'all to come out and just be that flamboyant about everything, and then y'all didn't care, no unapologetic and everything about it. That inspired the hell out of anybody, man.
That's what's up. I really appreciate that, man. I mean, this was before things was extra sensitive. We wasn't a group of, we're going to just come out and just bring shock value. This is who we was as MCs, man. And the chemistry that we had and bounce off of each other, man. This is who we was. And it was at a time to where, social media and things wasn't prevalent like it is now, so you didn't really hear and get a chance to see all the things that people are numb to in today's time. That's what made their outspokenness maybe a little bit special, especially for people who was in the shell, who wanted to come out and say, fuck it, I don't give a fuck about nothing. We opened up that lane to bring confidence for those who was inside of a shell. So, now you can get canceled and all that type of stuff for the stuff we were saying back then. Now, because things have changed. But I'm glad that you actually peaked that, man, and I salute you, man, for even giving us those props like that, man. So thank you.
Man, you're welcome, man. Like I said, I love D12. I love Eminem. I love the whole Shady Aftermath G Unit era. Man, you guys made plus with Obi, and y'all made magic, man. Like y'all music, like I literally been listening to, and I'm just not saying this because you right here, but I literally been listening to nothing but Eminem, D12, Obi Trice for the past 6 months as far as rap goes.
Yeah.
I still play that music every single day because another thing is I hate when a lot of people would say they couldn't relate to you guys, and I found like, nah, listen to the whole, especially the second D12 album, records like How Come and stuff like that. Listen to the albums, it was so many things so relatable in that it was real life, but a lot of people I felt like didn't understand it or didn't want to understand it.
Yeah, because we were underground MCs, man, who made our mark in Detroit, man. We was all tore from lyricism, the battle rap scene. And when we came out to the world, we had our character. We made it cool to be hardcore MCs and still crack funny jokes on the videos. We made it cool to still be goofy, still being lyrical hardcore MCs. And when people see us on the Purple Hills or my bands and acting silly and taking it to that level where we attracted a pop audience, they kind of looked at us and say, well, you know what? Maybe this whole album is going to be based off of this silly, goofy pop material. And they didn't realize that deep down inside, we were underground MCs battle rapping in the middle of Detroit all through the 90s. And, you had to actually grab that album to really feel that. And if you didn't grab that album, you would actually look at it as totally, totally different. So, I get it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. I ain't gonna hold you long, man. How do you feel about Detroit hip hop and hip hop in the direction it is going right now?
I'm really proud. I'm proud at where Detroit is right now, man. We have our own sound. Detroit always had our own sound, and now the younger generation and gravitated towards it, man, and made it a movement to where people all around the world can go into the studio and holler at a producer and say, hey, man, I want a Detroit type beat. Mm-hmm. This is what we fought for. We fought for that sound. Now, us being older, tore from a different cloth. I'm from the Jay Dilla cloth. I'm from the Now Porter type style beats, man. So the beats I pick and the beats we came off of still holds a different kind of sound than the sound that Detroiters are gravitating towards right now. But I love and respect it to the fullest, man. And that little offbeat cadence that you hear Detroiters do, man, people are mimicking that, man. Mm-hmm. And it took a long, long time for people to really recognize and see what we are about. And now we are officially on the map, man. So big up to the whole Detroit movement and everybody that's doing their thing in Detroit, man, because you got people overseas and all around the world that's gravitating towards a Detroit sound. We done made our mark. It's now when you hear it, people know that's Detroit. And we've been striving to get to this level for the longest, man, and I'm glad that we here.
Well, like I said, I'm happy to hear that, man. So, like I said, I wasn't gonna hold you much longer. I got one more question. What do you have What do you have coming up? Like, what do Swift have coming up that we can look forward to?
Okay, well, I got a couple of projects right now, man. I just finished My Brother's Keeper Part 2 with Kaniva. Mm-hmm. This me and Kaniva's second album together, branched off with just me and him. We got our first album called My Brother's Keeper. We dropped in 2000, and now we got our second one, man. The first album was the EP. This one is a little bit longer. We're going to drop that maybe in the fall and winter. And I got a solo album called Gray Rose coming out, man. It's a double album, 26 songs with just me and no features. And
I'm looking forward to that.
I got something to say, man. Yep, I got something to say. So those two projects will be coming out anytime between now and early next year, man, in the winter.
All right, man. Well, like I said, I'm looking forward to that. Make sure I get that project before everybody else do.
Oh, I got you. Oh, you tapped in, my brother. So I'll make sure once we have it tangibly, or we ready to go ahead and give it to the world, man. I'll definitely let you know. And for those who listening, man, and want to know more about the release dates and stuff whenever it come out, they can holler at me on my Instagram at McVay D12. That's MCVAY D12. That's the same as the Twitter. And you can go on the Facebook on Swifty D12, and you get updated on everything, man. And if you want some D12 merch, man, go to a D12 official page on Instagram. They got links on how to get all the D12 merch or whatnot. So, yeah, check us out.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for coming on today, man. I truly appreciate this from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you.
And man, thank you for having me, man. And then, you know, maybe whenever the music come out, when it get closer to time, man, we can go ahead and do it again and update
definitely
people on what's going on with another one.
All right, definitely, man. Like I said, thank you. I appreciate you, man. That been our show tonight, man. We out of here.
Yes, salute.